Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here on YouTube for the first episode of Yellowish, Blue, and Pink, the virtual reading. Today's episode is all about exposition. The first piece is the Master Painter's Monologue, in which she talks about banning all colors except for blue and pink. This really sets up the entire piece. Then we're going to go inside the Vault vlog and hear the perspective of Yellow and Purple, two banned colors who have been locked in the vault for some time now. And finally, you'll hear a news report, which cuts into a classroom scene where an inquisitive student gives the professor the inspiration and drive to break into the vault and try painting with yellow and blue. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and the conversation that follows.
My trusted colleagues and friends, it has come to my attention that the world has become too colorful, too unique. The choices we make today will set us on a path to make the world a true work of art again. It is for this reason that all colors, with the exception of blue and pink, are now banned and will be transported to an undisclosed location. The information is confidential, and revealing of any details will result in termination of life. Any positive information in support of these banned colors will now be erased from every document, website, and school textbook. Nobody will remember the abominations that are yellow and purple. This day will go down in history as the day color chaos ended and order was restored to the world. That is all they need to know. We've got much work to do, and I thank you for your dedication to this important decision. Lock them in the vault! Lock them in the vault! Lock them in!
Hi to all you vibrant colors, our loyal and first-time viewers alike. We appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like this video at the bottom of your screen and subscribe to our channel. Now, I just have one question. Are there any good colors left out there? I am so tired of all of these macho rojos coming up to me like, hey, Purple, you want to make a rose? Gross? No, sir, I want you to bring me roses. I want somebody more like Yellow, but he's been more into blue guys lately. He wants to make some green, if you know what I mean. I have no issue with the green lifestyle, and I can't understand how others do. Can you believe all of this make the world true art again business? I've always wondered what it would have been like to be a different color. Seriously, what I wouldn't want to experience. To know a difference, to appreciate that difference.
Oh, stop it, Purple. You're beautiful and I love you. So, what were you telling all those gorgeous colors out there?
Oh, nothing, just spilling the beans on which color I'd actually consider mixing it up with.
Oh, yeah? And how would a lucky color do that?
By not being red.
Okay. We get it. Now, if you all couldn't already tell, we use this blog as a sort of online dating profile sometimes because, let's face it, who wants to pay for an online dating service and all of the dating apps hook you up with...
Lost colors like us?
Stop. No. Anyway, I've been working on my list of qualifications. My perfect color has blue eyes, dark blue hair, 5 o'clock stipple sponge shadow, the high art type, who nobody suspects is wild when the vault door closes. I want to be covered with paper mache,
Whoa!
dry
Okay.
brushed.
Okay, you're done. Don't forget Children have access to the internet these days, and we don't know who could be watching our vlog. All right, that's all for now. You know what we want. We'll catch you next time when we bring to you.
Do we have to say it?
Yes.
Inside the
Alt Vlog.
Tonight, shocking news coming from the inside of the World's Life Art Expo in New York. Expert life painter and professor at ArtU, Dr. Easel, has caused quite a controversy by revealing a painting that is completely green. Just last year, we heard her saying,
I denounce the color green. It is not a color of life. Banned colors must never mix. The glorious father painter never intended for these colors to mix, and that is why yellow has been banished from the acceptable life colors. It was a fluke. In the Book of Colors, it states, blue and pink are the only two colors that are allowed to mix. All other colors will lead to a blank canvas.
Scientists are joining the conversation, stating that for years they have been appealing to the government for a change of policy based on the results of many years' worth experiments that prove yellow and blue actually make the beautiful color green. There has been a push from this intellectual group for many of the banned colors to be added by the International Society of Life Painters as an accepted color of life, a title currently held by only the colors blue and pink. Why did she do this? Find out the answer to this puzzling question during our upcoming interview with Dr. Easel on Inside Palette Politics. Good evening, world. Tonight on Inside Palette Politics, we are joined by a woman surrounded with controversy. In this exclusive interview, she promises to reveal the truth. So, tell us, why did you mix yellow and blue and present a green painting?
Why would yellow exist if it weren't meant to be used? I have actually discovered many discarded colors banished by the Society of Life Painters. I have painted with different combinations of these colors and created gorgeous pictures. My journey to using green in a recent painting began during a lecture that I was giving last year at ArtU. Good afternoon, class. Today we will be discussing the most important event in history and first rule of being a life painter. Today we will be discussing the color yellow and its exclusion from the life colors. The great master painter ended the reign of chaos when she established the color divide of blue and pink.
Hey, I had a rumor that there's a boat full of colors unknown to society. Aren't you a little bit curious about what would happen if you painted with those colors?
Yes. No.
I knew it. You've experimented with those colors, haven't you?
Please stop. Don't interrupt this class again. But I was interested, and I had thought about experimenting with banned colors. It took that bold student and that moment of embarrassment for me to realize that I had to expose the truth. I had to prove what I had always known as a kid. All colors are beautiful. I knew in my heart that combining other colors could make wonderful art. I had a friend who worked at the color vault, and I swiped his keys the next day. I brought the color yellow home to my studio, and I never looked back.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us for this week's episode. After each episode, we're doing a little Q&A with some of the cast. So first we're gonna start with talking a little bit about some LGBTQ representation in the media, maybe some artists that our cast members are enjoying that you can also discover.
I'm going to tell you about some great queer podcasts that you could be checking out, whether you are a queer person or you are an ally and you want to learn more about what's going on in our lives. I love Nancy, which is put out by WNYC with Kathy Tu and Tobin Lowe. I also love Query with Cameron Esposito, who is a queer stand-up comic, but then she does long-form interviews with other members of the queer community from all walks of life.
All right. And Sarah, same question. What about you?
I really have been enjoying the show on Sci-Fi called Wynonna Earp. There is a great couple in that is not what you would normally see. It's a healthy relationship, and it's not what you would consider queer baiting. And the fact that they happen to be queer is just a part of that. It's just a part of who they are and a part of the story, not something for, splash or anything like that. And I really have loved watching the characters develop and fall in love. And so I would say watch Wynonna Earp. It's on Netflix right now.
Thanks for that suggestion too. And I agree with you. So much of what I was growing up, and I know you two as well, we were seeing representation, but it either wasn't diverse or maybe it has some sort of negative outcome at the end of the story. And I think right now we're seeing this influx of it's just a part of their life, right? It's not the central element in the story. And I think that's really important.
But if we're talking dead or alive, my next tattoo I'm getting on my back right shoulder blade, Oscar Wilde.
Okay, all right. Thank you. A little theater reference there. I appreciate it.
I am obsessed with the TV show Pose, and I am loving following Billy Porter on Instagram. He is got a voice for the people that I think everyone should really be tuned to. So that'd be my top choice.
So far, I highly endorse both of the show and the people that you're talking about. All right, HJ, what are you going to leave us with today? Who should we check out?
Well, I am really liking Lil Nas X, the cowboy rapper.
Okay, one of the other questions that we're asking our cast is just to talk a little bit about what pride means to them, or what the word pride means.
Pride, the word, whenever I think of it, I used to think of it as something that was negative, hubris, I'm very prideful, something like that. But as I've grown older and started embracing queer culture, it became more of just being okay with who you are, and not just okay, but celebrating the uniqueness of you wherever you fall on the spectrum of gender or sex, orientation, but just who you are, what you look like, and who you are on the inside, and being not just okay with it, but really excited to share that with the world, and being proud of who you are and not having to be quiet about it.
Yeah, so I agree with a lot of what Sarah said. Like, pride, a big part of that is being proud of who you are and being comfortable showing that in the world. But I've also come to realize in the last couple of years, particularly this year, that, and now that I live in New York City, yes, pride is a big party here, but there is also this other movement where we are reminded that pride came out of a riot. Pride came out of creating change because people were not being accepted for who they were. So yes, it's a celebration, but it's also action. It's also demanding change and continuing to demand change for the queer community and continuing to demand equal rights. And this year particularly, that has been focused on queer trans lives, Black trans lives. It's been about so much more than it usually has been, especially since this is the 50th anniversary of the first Pride celebration, the 51st anniversary of the Stonewall riots. I think it's a great time to be reminded that pride is about being proud of who you are and also demanding your rights.
Pride means to me more here, it's kind of very proud and being open and free. But also the Japan, it's hard to break through. It's more free in the US, and in Japan, the pride is a little bit dark. It's really tough. That's the like for me, it's same word but different. Like.
And everybody out there, if you're interested in reaching out to any of our cast members, we're always going to share where you can find them. And if you do want to support them, go ahead and just leave a tip in the tip jar for them. That would be so awesome.